I don't know if anybody wants to hear me talk about bleeding, but no, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. If you don't want to listen to it, just come off my video, okay? Fine. Aloha, Hannah, and welcome back to my channel, to Mama Sulu. I am Rae, for those who don't know me. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I'm Rae. I just got off of my cycle. Well, I just got done bleeding. Throughout my entire life, this has been the period that I've enjoyed bleeding the most. And for this reason, I felt inspired, compelled to make a video about it, because I know that a vast majority of women experience challenging periods, menstrual cycles, and many women do not look forward to it or enjoy that time, that week of the month. And being in this position where I am thoroughly enjoying bleeding, I wanted to share that with you, with whoever, just to show that there is the possibility that we can have enjoyable cycles. Like it doesn't have to be something that we dread monthly. I decided to do a video talking about what I feel contributes to me having an enjoyable cycle. Before I had children, my menstrual cycle was something that I dreaded. I didn't like it at all. My lifestyle was also markedly different then in comparison to now. And honestly, I began experiencing changes and shifts in my menstrual cycle to a more enjoyable something when I made certain changes to my diet. For about 10 years of my life, I followed a pescatarian diet where I mostly ate seafood, but I still ate dairy. For the next 6 years or so, 5 to 6 years, I continued with that, on that vein of a very strict plant-based diet. I did experience some much more ease in my shedding in comparison to when I was just like, I was pescatarian, but I was still eating dairy and doing all sorts of different things, drinking alcohol, that kind of thing. I still experience a certain amount of ease and a great difference when I made those particular changes. But I still can't say that I enjoyed it the way that I enjoy it now. Then I had children, and that also was a big change in terms of how I related to my cycle. 2022, I had my last baby, and I breastfed her for almost a year, and then November 2023, I got my cycle routine. And my gosh, I was so surprised at how easeful and joyful my experience has been since then. I mean, before that it was good, but this time, like now, it's just like super. Like, what is this? I didn't know it can be like this, but it can. And I was so surprised. Like, I was not expecting this sort of feeling towards bleeding. And there are some things that I do feel as though it has made a major difference in my experience and how it feels for that week. And one of those things is what I use to catch my blood. So before, I would use pads, like disposable pads, and it was very uncomfortable. Like, I didn't like it. I felt uncomfortable. I felt uneasy. So I used disposable pads before. And then a sister of mine picked me up with a cup, a menstrual cup. And I was interested. Like, before she gave it to me, I started doing some research on it, and I was like, whoa, this looks interesting. You don't have to change pads as often, blah, 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 blah. It did make things a little easier, but I didn't really like it that much because I didn't like having to insert it. I always felt as though I put it in wrong, and I didn't like the idea of digging up inside of myself like that, because, right? So I kind of just push it to the side. But then I got pregnant again, and I didn't use it for much longer. But this time around, I realized that I've been overthinking it. I was overthinking the incision and how to use it. So I figured it out. There are different folds that you can use to insert it, because obviously it's a cup, so it has a wide amount that you can't just insert. So you have to fold it, and there are different folds, and I found the fold that works best for me. There are a few things that I enjoy about the menstrual cup. One is the ease of caring for it. I just sterilize it, give it a quick sterilization before and after each period, and that's it. When I take it out to empty it, to reinsert it, I just give it a soapy wash, and I put it back in and it does its job. Sometimes I can't bleed, I don't have to wear any underwears, I can still like be free, because I don't like no panty. Like, she don't like to be caged. Because of something like that, I still get to maintain my comfort and a sense of normalcy. I've been prioritizing my rest during that time, because I recognize that it is absolutely necessary because of what my body is experiencing at that time. You know, the bodily function, it requires rest. And when we are in the corporate world, looking for people, we don't really have that option of getting the rest that we need to support ourselves in a time where our body is doing something really major, like high functioning processing, and we don't really take the time that we need to rest and support ourselves and support our bodies through this very remarkable transformation that allows us to shed baggages, emotional baggages that we've taken with us throughout the month. I also got period panties. Period panties are a game changer. They are. I mean, I don't know if I will choose the period panties over the cup, simply because the cup it's just this one thing. It's just more convenient and more comfortable for me in terms of what my preference is. But period panties saying real take all the like get on board. Period panties, they have gussets sewn into it that are like, it kind of functions like a cloth pad but as an underwear, and you wash it. You wash it like you would wash your cloth pads or your baby diaper if you're using cloth diapers, and you wear it for a longer period of time, so you can use it for 6 to 12 hours. I usually use mine at night, because I don't want to have to get up. I don't want to have to think about where my blood is going to flow while I'm sleeping. Especially for the first 3 days, I use the cup and the pads at night. So if there's any leakage, in case I didn't put my cup in properly, or there is leakage because the cup got filled throughout the night, then the pad is there as an added security, and that gives me a certain amount of peace of mind. So I can sleep comfortably, because I know even if I leak, I have something there to catch it. There are different brands, but the brand that I use is a UK brand called Wooka Wear, and they have a lot of options, all black I believe, but you can get high waist, low waist, tongues, so you should check them out. Maybe I'll add the link to their website in the description. That might work. And you know something else about the cups? I know that there are tampons, and tampons seem like a easy, more convenient and more comfortable option than disposable pads, but the potential of toxic shock syndrome, it's not worth the risk as far as I am concerned. Toxic shock syndrome is very, very dangerous. Like, you can get hurt real bad, and you wouldn't like it. Menstrual cup, it negates that. Like, you don't have to worry about toxic shock syndrome with the menstrual cup, and I think that's a really awesome thing. That's a bonus. That's a big thing. That's major. Like, come on. I also have cloth pads. I've made some cloth pads by hand. I took my time and I sewed them, because I really wanted it. I dye them not with natural material as well, so that they also take on some of the medicinal properties of the natural material that I've used. I use the cloth pads that I've made with along with the cups, or sometimes by itself, depending on how my flow is flowing, if it's light and that kind of thing. I realize that when I eat red meat in that week, I have much more energy and less fatigue. Even though I find that I don't feel extremely fatigued in that I can't get things done, or I feel like I just need to be lying down all day. I'm still painting, I'm still doing creative stuff. Come. I'm still doing creative stuff because I still have this energy to get things done, and I feel good, and it is not something that I've experienced before. So I am mind blown by this. My mind is blown because I never experienced feeling this good and wholesome on my cycle. We really need to re-evaluate our relationships with our cycle. I want to change the narrative. Like, I want to change that narrative, not only for myself, but for my daughters, because I have two daughters. And I want us all to have a better relationship with our cycle. It is such a miraculous function that attests to the perfection of our design, our physical design. Like, whoever created us, whoever built this, they knew what they were doing, because everything just functions. Like, everything just works so well together. I feel really privileged to be experiencing life and navigating life as a woman, because we are magnificent creatures. Mahalo for being here and rocking with me and listening to me rant on and on about this. That I don't know. I don't know if anybody wants to hear me talk about bleeding, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. If you don't want to listen to it, just come off my video, okay? But this is something that we need to talk about. So mahalo for witnessing me and hui how until we meet again. Oh gosh, my child really interfered with things. I cannot continue. I am trusting that you experience an awesome, wonderful, beautiful, gracious, joyful, easeful, life empowering cycle, end of cycle soon. Bye. Aloha. What I want to say is, yeah, yeah. Up here,